Hi, everyone. It's nice to have you here. My name is Dr. Yusuf Bakr, and I'm greeting you from my home office. I am the undergraduate advisor to the International Studies program, and I want to first welcome all of you to the International Studies family. We're very excited to have you as part of our major. We are a small major, meaning that there's a small number of faculty, and so we get to know all of our students pretty well, and our students get to know us very well as well. So it's really exciting to have you as part of the family. And this is this is my attempt to kind of give you some information before you kind of really get started at Cal State Long Beach. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to the major, to the International Studies major, and to the requirements that we have for you to be successful in international studies and earn your bachelor's. All of you will be attending an orientation with SOAR, with the university. And as part of that orientation, you will get a lot of really good information. You will also get to see the campus and get an opportunity to choose your classes for the fall. And you will also be shown the various processes that you need to kind of go through to figure out what classes are right for you and what classes you should enroll in. So this video will introduce you to the specific requirements of international studies and the courses that you need to take for our major. I'm also going to give you an overview of a 2-year timeline to complete the major so that you could have kind of a mock, we'll do a mock schedule. So you kind of could have an idea of what classes need to be taken when and what some tasks are that you need to complete by which dates. And so everything that I'm going to tell you in this video, in the description of the video, you will have all of the various links that we'll go through so that you will be able to go back and find the things that I talk about in this video. And there is, if you go in the description of the video, there is a kind of a table of contents for this video. So you could always you don't have to watch the whole thing, but you kind of could scroll through it to find the place that is appropriate for what you want to get out of the video. What I ask of you to do in terms of from now until the beginning of the fall semester is, so you're going to be attending SOAR. I would say either early on in your SOAR orientation or even before the orientation, I ask you to watch this video. Then go to the SOAR orientation. You might even pick your classes. But right after that, I also ask for you to schedule an appointment with me. Again, I'm the undergraduate advisor, so that means I'm the person who's going to guide you through the major and guide you through into your graduation. And I'm the one that's going to be able to answer any questions that you have about courses, requirements, university requirements, college requirements, department requirements. And if I don't know the answer, then I will guide you to who to ask. So I ask all of you to schedule appointments with me. I will have the link to schedule an appointment with me is below. I'm going to be, my goal is to meet with all of you in the weeks of July 25th and August 1st. So the last week of July and the first week of August. I want to be able to at least spend 30 minutes with each one of you to make sure that you are taking the correct courses in the fall and to make sure that I answer any kind of major questions that you have as you kind of begin developing a plan for your studies at Cal State Long Beach. Okay? So having said that, let's get started by first looking at the bachelor's requirements for international studies. This document that I have on the screen is the kind of the official requirements for the international studies bachelor's degree. I will put a link to this so you could have it, you could save it or print it out and have it with you. This describes all of the things that you need, including all of the various classes that we have as part of the International Studies program. It's As you could see, it's pretty detailed and it could be a little bit overwhelming. So what I want to do is go through all of these step by step, but I want to make sure you know that this is kind of the official document that all of you are going to be held accountable to. So this is kind of where you go for the official set of requirements for the major. So now that you have this, I want to kind of break it down in a different format so that you all could understand what you have to do. The International Studies program, the Bachelor's in International Studies at Cal State Long Beach, is broken down. You could think about it. You could think about the major in 3 steps. We have a series of intro courses that you're required to fulfill. After that, a series of core requirements that you will have to complete. And then at the end, your last semester here, you will have 2 outro classes, what I call outro classes, that you need to complete. International Studies, the majors could be broken down into these 3 steps. I want to go through each one of these 3 steps with you. So first, let's start with intro courses. There are 2 types of intro courses that you're going to have to take. One is lower division and the second is upper division courses. All lower division courses across Cal State Long Beach are denoted by the number by 100 and 200. So any class that is numbered 100 and 200 is considered lower division courses. Any classes that are numbered 300 and above, so 300, 400, 500, those are upper division courses. 300 and 400 are upper division courses. So for your intro courses, you need to take 3 lower division courses and 3 upper division courses. So let's go through the lower division courses first. There are 2 courses that you must complete. That is IST 100 and Econ 100. All IST students need to complete these 2 lower division courses. After these, the other course, you need to take 1 course amongst a basket of courses that you could choose from. So you just need to take 1 of the following. International Studies 122. By the way, the IST, that's the acronym for our major. So you have to either take IST 122, Econ 101, or HDev, this is Human Development 190, Soc 170, or Psych 110. So you have to take only 1 of these courses and these 2 lower division courses. Now, for many of you, you might have taken these courses in community college or in different throughout your studies so far. So this is something that you could check with me. I will talk a little bit about it further in this video, but that's something that you could talk about with me in our meetings. And many of you might already have taken these courses or satisfied these requirements, but that's something that we could look at on a case-by-case basis. So once you have in addition to these 3 lower division courses, there are 3 upper division courses that you must take as part of the intro to your major. And those are IST 310. This is an introduction to international studies. IST 311. This is more of a research methods course for international studies. And IST 491. IST 491 is a unique class in that it is a 1-unit class. It's not a 3-unit class like all the other courses. And IST 491 is going to be coupled with IST 492, which I'll talk about a little bit later. This course, all of you should take this course in your fall semester. And this is a course that will introduce you to the major, but also it's going to introduce you to one of the requirements that we have, which I'll talk about in a little bit, which is studying abroad or an internship experience, as well as some professionalizing work that you could do in the course. So all of you are required to take 491 and also 310 and 311. So these are our upper division introduction classes. So these are 6 different courses that you must meet as part of the intro courses for IST. The next step in your bachelor's degree in international studies are your core requirements. And here we have 3 different core requirements. The first one, and probably perhaps the most important, is to complete 5 different courses, and I'll go through what those courses are. The second is to have a 3rd-year level proficiency in a second language. So as part of international studies, we would like our students to be proficient in another language other than English. And so we want a 3rd-year level proficiency in that second language, and I'll go through that as well. And the last core requirement is to complete either a one semester study abroad or an internship experience if you cannot do a study abroad. So let's go through these in a little bit more detail. First, let's go through the courses. For the core requirements, we have 5 courses that we would like for you to take. The first course, which is required for all of you, is IST 300. This course, IST 300, is a course that actually the topic of the course changes semester by semester, depending on the professors that teach the course. It's a small seminar course, so somewhere between 15 and 20 students, which means that you will get an opportunity to work very closely with a professor and a set of your colleagues. This class is going to require a little bit more writing, and part of the instruction, in addition to the various specific contents that you get as part of IST 300, is to get a little bit more writing support and do some more writing in a course, because writing and developing our writing skills is one of the things that we like to concentrate on as part of international studies, because we believe that writing is going to be very important once you finish your undergraduate degree, whether you're going to further studies or you're going to get a job in the professional sector. Outside of IST 300, which is required for all of you, you need to choose between 4 core elective courses. So I've just listed the numbers here. We have a host of different topics that you could choose from, and a host of different courses to choose from. This could be potentially another subject of conversation when you meet with me. I am more than happy to go through each one of the courses and kind of give you an idea of what each one is about, and the different kind of other requirements that it might fulfill and things of that nature. So, but just so you know, overall, there's 5 courses that you have to take. Now, what's important, what you should note is that there is no sequencing here, meaning that you could take IST 300 your first semester here, your second, third, or last semester here. It doesn't really matter when you take it. And you don't need to take these courses also could be taken at any different point in time throughout your tenure at Cal State Long Beach. So there's no sequence. You just have to take these 5 courses for the core requirement in terms of coursework. The second core requirement that we have outside of coursework is our language requirement that I briefly discussed. So, as I said, we want a 3rd-year language proficiency level for our students who are in IST. Now, there's a couple of different ways you can meet that requirement. The first one is maybe you have a language background already. Maybe you speak a different language at home, or maybe you've taken a bunch of courses throughout your high school, community college, or what have you. If that is the case, if you have some language background, then what we will ask you is to take a test or to meet with an advisor from that language who teaches that language to see if you meet the 3rd-year level proficiency. If you meet that 3rd-year level proficiency, then you need not take any or other language courses. Then you just meet that core requirement. Again, that's something that you and I could talk about in our meetings as well, in terms of kind of figuring out a specific way to see if you meet that requirement in that sense. The second way you can meet this requirement is if you have a math background. If you are comfortable with taking higher level or more advanced math courses, specifically statistics courses, you could meet this requirement by taking either Econ 380 or Psych 310. Now, I only recommend this for students who are comfortable with statistics and math, because these are pretty advanced courses. And if math isn't something for you, then I wouldn't recommend it. But if it is something that you're comfortable with, or if you are interested in much more advanced statistics work, if you take these courses, that also enables you to pass out of third year level proficiency of language. The last way to fulfill this requirement, of course, is to take language courses at Cal State Long Beach. There is a different, you could complete the language proficiency at Cal State Long Beach. You could also take these language courses outside of Cal State Long Beach, or even as part of your study abroad experience. So these are all ways that we could help you meet that requirement. There is a lot of different languages that are offered here on our campus, and we have ways of recommending other ones that are offered either in other CSU campuses or in different places here in the States or abroad as well. And you, just so you know, a lot of these courses, it might not take you let's say you start with no language background. And it might not take you 3 years to complete. So some of our language courses you could complete, for example, a year's worth of a specific language in 1 semester by taking a class that meets a little bit more. It's a little bit more intensive, but it does the year's work in a semester. So I say all of this to let you know that you shouldn't be afraid of the language requirement. Our students have been very successful in completing it, and we as faculty are here to guide you through that process. I myself, as the advisor, I'm here to guide you through this process and make sure that you are able to complete it within a timely manner. So that's our second core requirement. The last core requirement is a study abroad or an internship experience. So we are international studies. That means we are studying the global world. We're studying patterns, trends, flows, movements, not only in the United States, but across borders in the entirety of the world. So as part of that, we would like for you to have some experience in those sets of movements, shifts, and flows that happen across the international landscape. So we highly encourage our students to complete a 1-semester study abroad experience. We help you as part of to guide you in creating a schedule for when you are abroad, so that you are taking courses that will count for your graduation here. So this is not something that you go and do and it takes away from time that you have in order to graduate. Our intention is for you to do a study abroad in which you actually are taking the courses you need to graduate from Cal State Long Beach. We also try to work with you to help you see to manage the costs as well. There are a lot of different programs that in fact might cost you the same amount as if you were to be going to and enrolled at Cal State Long Beach. So these are things that we could help you with. And in order to help you with that, we have a study abroad advisor that is Dr. Laura Chea, who also happens to be the chairperson of the International Studies program. So that's one of the people that I'm gonna ask you to meet with pretty early on to talk about your options in terms of studying abroad. But let's say for whatever reason you cannot do a study abroad. If you cannot do a study abroad, then we ask you to complete an internship experience where you're going to do an internship with either a nonprofit or a for-profit company or a different kind or a community organization that is somehow involved in kind of these international kind of events or processes. For the internship experience, we also have an advisor, and that's Dr. Jolene McCall, who you could schedule a meeting with to help you look for internships, to help you figure out how to complete them, and answer any questions that you might have about the study abroad, about the internship experience. So the last thing I would say about this requirement is for both study abroad and internships, you will have to complete them before your last semester at Cal State Long Beach. So by the time you enter your last semester on our campus, we would like for you to have finished already your study abroad and your internship, meaning You cannot leave study abroad or an internship to your last semester here. And I'll talk a little bit about that when we talk about our scheduling. So now, if you have finished your intro courses, you finished your core courses, you finished the core requirements of a language requirement, you finished the core requirement of study abroad or internship. Once you've done all of that, then you have 2 outro courses, the 2 culminating courses of our major. And that's IST 492 and IST 490. Both of these courses should be taken in your last semester of our major. IST 492 goes along with IST 491. IST 491, if you remember, was part of the intro courses, and it's a 1-unit course. IST 492 is an outro course, your last semester here, and it's a 2-unit course. And these 2 courses, so if you think about it, 491 you take before you go to do study abroad or internship. IST 492 you take once you've completed one of those requirements. And it's a chance for you to, alongside a faculty member and your colleagues from international studies, to kind of debrief, to think about, to reflect on the study abroad or internship experience alongside all of the various courses you've taken here at Cal State Long Beach. And of course, IST 490 is the last course, and this is a senior thesis course. So in this course, you will do one thing for the entire semester, and that is to write 1 research paper. And the faculty member who will teach that course will guide you in a step-by-step fashion to get you to be ready to and complete this senior thesis, in which we hope you could bring together all of the various things you've learned as part of being part of the international studies major. And once you do those 2 courses, those outro courses, that culminates your bachelor's degree in international studies, and you will hopefully then graduate from Cal State Long Beach. Now, having said those things, I want to bring to your attention just a couple of other things that have to do with your coursework that I just want you to keep in mind, and these will be something that I will bring up with you when we meet every time. The first one is that as part of your studies at Cal State Long Beach, you will need to fulfill what is called the Graduation Writing Assessment Requirement, or the GWAR. They talk about it in, this is the acronym GWAR, Graduate Writing Assessment Requirement. So I just want to bring this to your attention and let you know some things about it. So this is basically the university's attempt to make sure that everyone who graduates has some writing background and could write reasonably well. So as part of that, everybody needs to pass this requirement. In order to pass this requirement, all of you will need to take what's called the GWAR placement exam, or GPE. Now, the GWAR placement exam, or GPE, when you take this exam, 2 things could happen. You either, let's quote unquote say you pass this course, you pass this exam. If you pass it, then you will need to take 1 writing class called the Writing Intensive course. Let's say that you do not pass it for whatever reason, and it doesn't really mean anything, like you shouldn't feel too bad if you didn't pass it or something like that. But let's say you don't. At that point, then you will need to take the 1 additional class called the GWAR Portfolio course. And then after that, you need to again take the Writing Intensive course. So in any case, all of you will have to take a Writing Intensive course. Taking the GPE test only could let you know if you need to take 1 additional class or not. That's the only stake in the exam. And as part of that, there are 2 courses in international studies that actually meet the Writing Intensive requirement. So that means you could take either IST 320, this is a class on modern migration, or IST 405, this is a course on the Middle East and contemporary politics in the Middle East. Both of these courses fulfill the Writing Intensive course. So this is an opportunity for you to fulfill one of your core requirements for IST and fulfill a university requirement. So to get more information, go to Google and then do a simple search. Put CSULB and then put the GWAR, GWAR, and then Google it. The first thing that should come up is graduation writing assessment requirement. Go to this website, and this website will give you all of the information you need about the graduation writing assessment requirement, including, and this is very important, and you could, it has specific information for students, but the most important thing is it gives you upcoming GPE test dates. So you could see there are test dates coming up in August, in October, and some of the tests are online and some of the tests are in person. And they have an advisor that you could also contact regarding more information about the GPE test. I encourage all of you to look at this pretty early on to be able to complete it so you know what classes to take. So again, Google and then Google CSULB GWAR and it'll come up right away. The last note that I want to bring to your attention in terms of courses is that there are many IST courses that meet the GE course requirement or the GE courses or the requirements for the college. So these are things that I could talk to you about. I would like a lot of our courses meet, especially the upper division GE courses. Such as GEB, GE, D, F, and E. So these are things that I could talk to you about because these might be individual cases for each one of you. So I'm happy to talk to you about these courses, and this way you could be very efficient in making sure that you take courses that both meet your graduation requirement and meet the IST requirement as well. So now you have a good idea of all of the different coursework or all of the different steps that you need to take in order to complete the international studies requirements for graduation. You might have a question, which is, how do I know what classes are offered and what classes meet what GE requirement? So let's say you understand all of the things that we just talked about and you're like, okay, I'm ready to pick classes in the fall. Where do I go? How do I pick classes? How do I know what's offered? So let's go and find out how to do that. So let's start again at Google. At Google, what you want to put is CSULB and then put schedule of classes. If you click on it, then the first thing that will come up is schedule of classes, California State University, Long Beach. So click on that. And then you'll go to this page. This gives you all of the schedule of classes. So let's say we are looking for classes for the fall. So fall 2022, let's click on that. And now this takes us to this page. Now let's find out classes. I'm going to show you two different ways to look for what classes are currently offered. So the first one is by subject. So we click on by subject and we're going to go to international studies. So I'm going to click on I. And then where's I is right here, and here's international studies. So let's pick on international studies. Once you do that, then you could see all of the various courses that are available to you. So for example, here's one of your intro classes. It's IST 100 Global Citizenship, and you could see there are a bunch of sections available. If you look here in terms of location, this is where it tells you if the class is online. So there are 3 sections of this class that are offered online, and there are 3 sections that the instruction is face-to-face on campus, and it tells you the days and times. So you could kind of scroll through this page and see which classes are available. If the class is available, it'll tell you there are open seats. So for example, IST 300 is most likely filled up in terms of seats, but there is a lot of different courses that are still available. The other thing to note is under each title of each class, so let's say IST 317, it also tells you what other things it satisfies. So this course satisfies GE Area D3, F, and Global Issues. So there are a bunch of things that this fulfills as well. And I could show you later on what this means in terms of your requirements. So this is the place to go to see what is available throughout international studies. And these are all of the classes that are here. And so you'll be able to enroll in these through the MyCSULB website that you have, and to enroll in the courses that you want. If you're having any trouble, if the class says it's open, but for whatever reason you can't enroll in it, you could always let me know, shoot me an email, and I could see what is going on. So this was the way to look for classes through subjects. So if you're looking for a course in IST, what about if you thought, okay, I have a GE requirement that needs to be fulfilled, and I'm not sure what classes fill up that requirement. In order to do so, instead of clicking by subject, you go and you click by GE requirement. So let's click that. If you click by GE requirement, it breaks down all of the various GEs that are available. So let's go and see, let's say we are missing an GE area D, so upper division in social sciences. So let's say you click on that, and it gives you a list of classes. This list means that any of these courses will satisfy that GE requirement that you have. So you could kind of scroll, you could see there is a whole host of courses that will satisfy that. And if you search, we have a bunch of international studies courses that also meet that GE requirement, as you could see here. Okay, so schedule of classes is your go-to place to find out what classes are offered in any given semester. Now, what if you want to know what you have what credit you have and for what courses? In other words, what classes do I still need to take? What requirements haven't I fulfilled? What requirements have counted? What haven't? Where do I find all that information? And here, in order to kind of be able to see what the university recognizes as you having met in terms of requirement, you will need to go to your Academic Requirements Report, or ARR. The Academic Requirements Report is a document that you have access to through your MyCSULB, and this document is the official document that says everything you've already met. So as long as it says in your ARR that you met a certain requirement, you should rest assured that the university recognizes that, and you've completed that requirement. When we meet when you meet with any of our advisors, they will go to this document and they will look through that as well. So both the faculty, advisors, and you, we all go to the same report, to the Academic Requirements Report, to find out what you have left to do. Now, in order for you to kind of get to know this document and how to use it, I will put a link to a video that I think is very helpful. This is a video that goes through a step-by-step process of how to use your Academic Requirements Report. I will link to it below in this video, and I would like for you to spend some time, it's only a 5-minute video, to check out how to use this document and what it could be used for, because I think you're going to keep coming back to it over and over again. So this is where you could kind of find out about the ARR, and once we meet, it'll be a subject of our conversation, and I could also help you navigate this document if you can't figure it out from this video. So let's say that you figured out all of the classes, what the requirements for IST is. You know what classes you need to take, but you don't know how to schedule your classes. You don't know when you should be doing which semester should you take which classes. So what do you do at this point? The first answer that I have for you is to schedule a meeting with the undergraduate advisor. That's me. So again, I have meetings that are available to you in the last week of July, first week of August, and throughout the entirety of the semester. So please meet with me. You can meet with me over and over and over again. There's no limitations in terms of the number of times you can meet with me. Anytime you have a question, you should meet with me. But let's put that aside. So let's say you do schedule a meeting with me. But having said that, let's develop a mock plan that might help you figure out when you should take what courses. All right, so what I have here is on my screen, on the left, I have our kind of all of the requirements for international studies. So we could refer to it and make sure we have everything covered. And on the right, I have put together a mock kind of schedule. So let's work backwards. Let's assume that we want to graduate in spring 2023. This is our graduation semester. And we have 2 years, and currently is summer 2022. So first thing we know is that in our last semester, in spring 2023, this is when we take our outro courses. So these are 2 courses here that we need to take. This is 492 and 490. These will be the courses that we take in our last semester. So that's already there. Now let's go back and to our first semester. We know in terms of courses, the first course that we need to take is IST 491. All of us need to take this course, so let's put that in our grid. Now, it's the summertime. Are there any things we need to do before the school starts? So here there are 2 tasks that we should do. One is schedule a meeting with Dr. Bacher, that's me, to schedule a meeting with your undergraduate advisor. The second thing you want to do is to check out GPE test dates and find a time to take it. So these are the 2 tasks that I would recommend you have before even the fall starts. In terms of the fall, so we said 491 will be the course that everybody should take. Then the other courses should be your IST intro courses that we talked about. And here specifically, there was IST 310, which is an introduction to international studies, IST 311, this is a research methods class, and IST 100, this is called global citizenship. So these should, if you haven't taken these courses, these should be the courses that you definitely pick up in your first semester here. Now, in addition to the courses, there are some tasks, some things that we want to schedule to do in the fall. So the first one is to meet with Dr. Bacher if you have not done so already. You could kind of already see a pattern that I want to make sure that you all meet with your advisor constantly and be in communication. That way, you become very efficient in terms of the courses you're taking. You're not taking any class that you might not need, and that your questions are always addressed, and that you are not kind of left out with having a lot of different questions that are left unanswered. So outside of meeting with me, then you want to take your GPE test if you have not done so yet. Next, in terms of tasks, the other things to do is to schedule a meeting with Dr. Chea to talk about study abroad options. So whether you think you are going to study abroad or not, I really encourage you to talk to Dr. Chea about your study abroad options. It'll be also your opportunity to meet the chairperson of the department. She's a very nice woman who's also extremely insightful. So I think you will get a lot out of a meeting with her. If you're taking IST 491, she's going to be also your professor, so you might as well schedule a meeting with her while you're taking IST 491, so you could have some one-on-one FaceTime with Dr. Chea and talk to her about study abroad as well as other things. The last task for you to do in the fall 2022 is to schedule a meeting with Dr. McCall. And this meeting, the purpose of it is to talk about internship opportunities. Whether you're going to do an internship or not, this might be helpful in order to know kind of what the process is in order to do the internship. So this will be the fall 2022. The next semester, the last semester of this year, is going to be the spring 2023. And here, in terms of coursework, what you should probably take are your IST core courses. So you should begin the process of completing the IST core courses. And remember, there are 5 courses here. You don't have to take all of them in the spring, but you want to take some. You want to start to take some of them in the spring 2023. In terms of tasks, you have 2 tasks here. The first is to apply for study abroad. So if you are going to do a study, if you're going to do a study abroad, the time to do the study abroad is going to be in fall 2023. You could either do it in spring 2023 or fall. Spring 2023 might be too early. So fall is going to be the most opportune time to complete the study abroad experience, because you need to take it before your last semester here. So this is when you're going to do your study abroad or your internship. So I would apply for study abroad in the spring in order to qualify and to do your study abroad in the fall. And again, you want to do this in coordination with Dr. Chea. The next thing you want to do is to schedule a meeting with Dr. Bacher again. You want to make sure you meet with me at least once a year, if not maybe once a semester, or just to check in before you start to make a plan for your courses, just to make sure that you're on the safe side and everything you're doing kind of helps you move forward in your graduation. Now, in fall 2023, again, this should be your study abroad and or internship semester. In terms of tasks for this semester, you want to, again, this is going to be a task every semester, which is schedule a meeting with Dr. Bacher. Outside of that, this could be if you are en route to being complete with your requirements by the end of that year, you could apply for graduation here. And if you're doing an internship, this should be the semester you get an approval from Dr. McCall and start the internship. So that way, by the time you get to spring 2023, you're good to go and you're ready to complete your degree and to graduate. I want to say, so this is kind of the outline in terms of the courses that you need to take. There are 2 things to note in addition to this. The first is that if you're thinking about how many courses you should take per semester, I would say probably somewhere between 3 and 5. If you're getting financial aid, you will probably need to take 12 units, which comes down to, if most classes are 3 units, that means 4 courses. So every semester, you're looking at 4 different courses that you should be taking, especially if you're receiving financial aid. So when you're scheduling, you want to think about what are the 4 courses that you need. The other thing to note is if you are taking a language course, that's something that's probably, if you, let's go with the assumption that you don't have any language background, then in order to complete that language background by the time you graduate, I would start to take that pretty early on, either in fall or in the spring. And that's something, again, we should check in about to see what language you're taking, what year you might place in, and when to start. But I would put that as part of your plan for every semester if you have 0 language background. And again, you shouldn't be afraid. All of our students are successfully able to go through that. And language is pretty important in all of the various kind of surveys done from CEOs or people in the professional sector. They consistently talk about the importance of having a language background that is outside of English. So this is kind of, I hope this helps you kind of develop a kind of a mock schedule of what things you could be taking in the fall and looking forward in the next couple of semesters ahead. And again, I'll have this document for you, and I'll put a link for it in the video so you could check it out for yourself. The last thing I want to bring to your attention is, how do you schedule appointments with advisors, and who are some of the important people you should meet with early on. So to know who to meet with, this is what I would encourage you to do. So first, go to our website, go to the International Studies website. So let's go to Google. To find it, you put CSULB International Studies. International Studies College of Liberal Arts will come out first. Go to the link, And you could find, if you want to know who are the faculty in our, as part of our program, you could go to our faculty page, and you could see all of the different faculty members and an artist's rendering of all of us. This is I think it was Lottie, who is Dr. McCall's daughter, who did this wonderful painting for us. The other thing to look at is under student resources, click on advising. The other way to get to this page is if you just Google CSULB International Studies Advising. So here you have 5 different people, or actually 4 different people that you will need to know. So the undergraduate advisor, that's me. If you click here, you will be able to schedule appointments with me. There is also the internship advisor. That is Dr. Jolene McCall. And so everything internship related, you will need to meet with her. Then we have our education abroad or study abroad advisor, who also happens to be the chair of our department. That's Dr. Laura Chea. And remember, you want to schedule a meeting with her early on in the fall. So in the fall, you want to schedule a meeting with Dr. McCall and Dr. Chea. The last person that I think you might want to schedule a meeting with is Dr. Richard Marcus. And Dr. Richard Marcus is the director of the master's program in international affairs that we have here as part of Cal State Long Beach, and is connected to the international studies program. And you could schedule a meeting. I would schedule a meeting with Dr. Marcus, potentially your last year here, in the fall of your last year at least, to talk to him about, one, if you're interested in the Masters in International Studies here at Cal State Long Beach, or if you just have questions about graduate school, especially graduate school programs that might be connected to international studies. So whether that's international affairs, international relations, various different degrees of that nature. And let me just give you, you could always look at, so if you say MA International Affairs at CSULB, you will be able to, this is the Masters of Arts in International Affairs at Cal State Long Beach. So this is the website for it. And again, the director of this program is Dr. Richard Marcus, and you will be able to schedule a time to meet with him. I would highly recommend it if that is something that you're interested in, whether you are interested in international affairs here at Cal State Long Beach or somewhere else. And so you could click here and it'll take you to this page where you could schedule a meeting with Dr. Marcus. So there's a bunch of different times that you could schedule a meeting with him. So I hope that out of all of this, you've gotten some, you've gotten a brief survey in terms of the requirements that we have here at International Studies, what you need to do, and what you need to do for the fall. I know this might be a lot of information for you, and there's a lot of numbers and acronyms and things like that. And so I want to remind you that one of the great things about being part of the International Studies family is that we are a close-knit family. We are we have a small number of very dedicated faculty members and a group of students who we always are surprised by how fantastic and knowledgeable they are. So that means that if this is confusing to you, don't worry. That's what could be solved by meeting with me, by talking to some of the other faculty members. And we're going to be here to guide you step by step throughout the process. So I want you to never, if you're ever confused about something, don't just sit there confused. If you're confused, schedule an appointment. Schedule an appointment with me, schedule an appointment with anyone, and with any of our faculty. And if you're scheduled a meeting with the wrong person, they will guide you to who's the right person to talk to. So I'm really looking forward to meeting all of you before the semester starts. I highly encourage you to schedule a meeting with me, and I want to make sure that I meet with all of you so you all have, you're all set up for the beginning of the semester. Again, welcome to Cal State Long Beach. We're excited to have you, and we're and excited to be a part of the process of you completing this degree and graduating with a bachelor's degree from Cal State Long Beach. Thank you.